How does the season sit here for you?
Season sit's pretty frustrating. Annoying, that kind of term to put it. I think the footy that we've played is matched with the best teams. It's just a matter of doing it consistently. And I think Pikey sort of said it last week. That game sort of summed up our season. We were right there and we were close to winning, but a patch in the third quarter lets us down and we don't win the game. So I think it sort of sums it up.
What about personally? Is your career best for you, or how do you sort of see that?
I just thought it was just was still going, another consistent season. I was out there I missed 2 with a broken hand, which is a bit unfortunate. I can't do much about that though. So everything else with my body's felt okay, and I've been able to play my role for the team, and I think it's just been consistent.
Where does the bigger picture? How does this rank the bigger picture, Lady, in terms of where the team's at, where to go from here?
I think it starts with the last 2 games. I think we want to put the best team out in the park and build some consistency in our performances and get players out there and to continue to develop and finish off the year really strong. So it starts with building momentum into the off-season and into the pre-season.
No thought of bloody young players the last couple of weeks, give them a bit of exposure this one?
I'm not sure what the coaches will do. I think it's a matter of picking our best 22 in terms of how players are feeling. This time of year there's a lot of niggles and a bit of fatigue around the players. So I know Pikey's pretty keen to play the strongest team possible and as I said, build some momentum into the next part of next year.
Back when you led, you got the tag a couple of times late in the season. Everyone's trying to stop you getting 40 touches a game. How do you like that challenge?
It's a bit different for me. Working through it, there's some players in our team that get it, so Sloaney's had it a fair bit, so just chatting to them and chatting to the coaches of a way around it, but can't get too frustrated with it, even though I do get a fair bit frustrated with it out on the ground, but there's things you can do for the team that sort of helps them if they've got someone following you, so it's new for me and something that I have to work through if it continues to happen.
How does it work for a defender? We know that with a midfielder, if they're getting tagged, then the other midfielders will try and block and stoppages, but it's, I suppose, slightly different for someone who's a running defender. It's harder for you to get away from a tag run, then.
It's a little bit harder. We've tried a few different things. Like I went up around the midfield in the showdown a couple of weeks ago, and it's a matter of just beating my man. It pretty much goes back to playing a bit more one-on-one, even though that's not the way we play as a defence. But if you've got someone on you, you can't really help but play one-on-one. So it starts for me doing that, and then I can sort of try and lose them in transition and general play. But they're pretty good at doing it. So sometimes I struggle a little bit with that.
Is it a relief to have your old mate back on the other half-back flank to sort of take a bit of that heat off?
It'd be nice if they sort of went to him instead of me and let me free up, but it's a credit to him and his rehab. I think it's been well documented this week that had an unbelievable game on the weekend, second week back from an ACL. Just shows how diligent he was with his rehab and his conditioning and getting his body right to come back and play at an elite level straight away. It's a credit to him, and it's awesome being back with him. We read off each other pretty well, and hopefully he can build that consistency in the next 2 weeks. If it's there and they can happily do it to him, I'm happy with that.
Lady, Don said it'll be a pretty intense review into the season. I mean, obviously a bit of a failure not making finals. What does that mean for the players?
I think it will be, a fair review of what we've, done this year in terms of, the performances we put out and some key areas that we need to, focus on. Starting with training in the summer, that's the time you can really hone in on your game plan and change things and try things out and work out key areas that you want to improve on from this year into next year. So I think that would be pretty much the main point of it.
Does it make you sick to start talking about pre-season already?
Yeah, it's not great. It's been a fair few years. We've played finals for my last 3 or 4 years, and usually this is the most exciting time of year, and it's, as I said before, it's probably the most frustrating time of year for us now, knowing that we're pretty much can't play finals. So it's not a good thing to be talking about this time of year. You're usually getting ready and getting ready to play at the best time of year. So for us, it is very frustrating, and it's not something you want to be doing.
How much of an advantage did you personally get from exploring the mental side of things, and the mental space that Adelaide tried to develop this year?
Yeah, so last year we had a fair bit of involvement with the mental side of things, and I think each player took out different things personally and things that work for them, and I know players are still implementing it around their pre-game routines and what they do during the week. So I think some players bought into it more than others, and I know that pretty much 99% of the list found something that they liked about it. So obviously there's a fair bit of attention that's happened with it this year, but we've moved on from that, and some players still use it and some players don't.
Don said there'd be a bit less of a focus of that going into this pre-season. Is that a bit of a relief?
I wouldn't say it's a relief. I know that there's obviously been stuff that's documented this year in terms of our program, and I think between the coaches and the HPT staff, they'll work out all of that, and we just have to come back in good condition and buy into what the program is. I know all the players want to, and we don't want to be sitting in the same position again next year.
I know the squad comes out in a couple of hours, but do you know if Daniel Talia is going to get up for this week?
He did a bit of light training the other day. I'm not 100% sure what he's doing today. I just rocked up, so I think it's about him getting going today in the main session. If he can do most of that, then I dare say that would give an indication in terms of what he can do this week in terms of playing. So I think it's just a matter of how he feels and see how he goes today in the main session.
Overall, Patrick Dangerfield made some comments the other day that he'd rather see a shorter season, whether it's shorter games as well, maybe 25-minute quarters and a shorter season to help with players' injuries and stuff like that. What do you sort of stand on those comments?
Well, I hadn't actually read of them, so he said shorter games.
Yeah,
shorter games.
Shorter season, maybe 17, 18 game season as well.
Yeah, I think some players like the way the format is at the moment, and I dare say some players, that play different positions and so more game time, etc., would like it shorter. So, personally, I don't mind it. I don't mind the format it is now. I've played a couple of full seasons, and obviously at times it gets like a bit of a grind, but I'm not pointing either way, so I don't mind it.
What do Paul Seedsman and Rory Laird have to do today, do you reckon, to convince the coaches to play?
I dare say pretty much 95% of training and be pain free. There's no point going out there at 75% and doing something that just ruins the rest of the year and then hampers your off-season training into your pre-season. So I think they're both tracking pretty well though. So it'll be a matter of how much of the session they do today, much like Tales, and if they do that, then they should be ready to go.
I'm not a selector, but a couple of boys can take Texas' spot. McGovern, Hilberg, and Fogarty. Who do you think?
It's a tough one. That's why I'm happy I'm not in the match committee. So I think they're all capable of playing. I think Elliott's another really good story. He's had some consistent form in the SANFL, a young fella, and he's been playing his role really well each week down there. And then you obviously know Fog and Gov. Came back from a bit of a layoff, and he's come back and played well last week. So be a matter of how they see in the matchups and what North Melbourne presents. So as I said, I'm happy I'm not making those decisions.
What about Hardo down back? Is he done for the rest of the year?
I think he's not great at the moment in terms of his body. So I don't know if that's come out or anything, but it's out. Yep. So.
So what will Landy? Last year you played with Tom Duday all season.
Yep.
What do you think he should be the rising star this year?
I think he should be the rising star because of such an important role that he plays for us, and he's done it consistently for the full year, and it's his first year, and to come in and play at such a high level and execute our game plan and the way we play as a back six. I know it's been documented, but he was playing the same position as Jake, and it's a hard position to play as like a third tall, but it's not just the tools he's playing on. He takes smalls, he takes big size mids that come down there and rest. He plays higher up the ground, he plays deep. Just as a backman in general, he just is a Mr. Fix-It kind of thing. So for that, as a backline for us, the flexibility that he has is unreal, and I know we've all seen his intercept marking and his disposal. He's very clean and confident, so he's been a standout this year for me. I know I'm biased, but he should be up there to win it.